that's it. We just want to win for our team.
My goodness!
Yeah, we're just as good as the men. We're better.
It's a huge point for the Bay Area.
Good chance that's the #1 highlight of the week.
Oh yeah, you know what it is. It is the final session on the final day of the West Division of Major League Table Tennis. It is week 13 of MLTT, and we're coming to you live from Wichita, Kansas. Wichita, are you guys ready? Alrighty, then let's bring out the officials, Jovana Knežević and Jorge Vanegas. And now the first team coming in has 202 points. They're in number 3 right now, and they come all the way from the coast. A warm welcome for the Portland Paddlers! Led by Coach Christian Lillerose. Players, Jonathan McDonald, Tyrese Knight the Night Train, Rachel Sung, Isaac Vila, it's Kole and Jiwei Shaw. And their opponents now, I almost ruined the surprise. They're in 4th place right now. They've got 182 points. A warm welcome for the Seattle Spinners! Leading the party, the main spinner, Coach Luba Sadovska. Players, Johan Hagberg, Andrew Tsao, Paul Chi, Fabiola Diaz, Nikhil Kumar, and Olajide Omotayo. So now that all the warriors have entered the arena, let's shake some hands and slap some skins and let the games begin.
Well, it's been a pleasant weekend so far here in Wichita, and for the 88th and final time during the inaugural Major League Table Tennis regular season, we welcome you to MLTT action. Final game of the weekend here inside Koch Arena, the Portland Paddlers taking on the Seattle Spinners, battling for Pacific Northwest pride. Portland has won 3 of the 5 meetings against Seattle this year, but the Paddlers officially eliminated from postseason consideration after Texas took care of business, earning 15 points against the Bay Area Blasters earlier this afternoon. Still excited to bring this one to you. Hey everybody, Evan Lepler with the Hall of Famer Sean O'Neill. We got some different lineups today, perhaps some looser competitors considering the stakes don't involve a trip to the postseason, but obviously 2 teams that want to finish the season with a win.
And definitely one of the new angles is an all-women's match in singles, so we're going to have a chance to see some new doubles teams, but the ladies will be going at it as well.
Big day for Rachel Sung. She's playing the singles and the doubles for the 2nd day in a row. She'll play doubles with Kole, playing singles against Seattle's Fabiola Diaz. Let's look at the season results this year. Portland has done the job against Seattle more often than not, and 16-5 each of the last 2 events. But the Spinners have played well this weekend. They had a lead going into the Golden Game yesterday, but could not get the win. We take you back to September, where Portland overcame a 5-0 deficit in the Golden Game to win 11-10. The Seattle Spinners had the victory in October by a 13-8 score. Adi Serene winning the ultimate golden point. Nikhil Kumar getting the better of Kole there, but Seattle won that November matchup 14-7. But January and February in the Pacific Northwest, the Paddlers were the better side.
And they just really, they had their back against the walls and they came out firing. This will be a very interesting match as we see Tyrese Knight getting a chance to play in the A-B position. So players getting a chance to see some different opponents. Should be a very interesting match.
Yes, indeed. Final match of the regular season. We are 20 days from championship weekend. We'll talk a little bit about the matchups. We'll speculate about some postseason awards. We will get Sean O'Neill's decision as to who he expects to hoist the trophy in a few weeks. Paddlers and spinners. First match up next.
So, 3 timeouts per team throughout the entire team match. Only 2 can be used before the golden game. Towel breaks come up every 6 points. If you see an incredible point, watch the replay on the Jumbotron or on this TV right here if you're in the VIP section. We got a merch booth. I'll tell you more about that later so you can get the shirts for your favorite teams. But I'd like to introduce to you the 2 players on court. Representing Seattle Spinners, he comes from Katy, Texas. He's one of the young up-and-comers in the United States. He's a favorite to many around the world. A warm welcome for Andrew Tsao. And also wearing a blue bandana on the other side of the table, they call him the Night Train. He's the only chopper, defensive player from the West Division. He comes from Barbados, and he's spectacular to watch. Put your hands together for Tyrese Knight. Now, when I say chopper in table tennis, a chop is a lot like a slice in tennis. It's heavy underspin, and that means the opponent has to lift so much to keep the ball out of the net. It's a lot of work. You'll see the Night Train, Tyrese Knight, all over the court. But remember, one side of his racket is a defensive side. It's the red side that has long pips, those bumps that look like Legos. Keep your eyes on his racket. He's constantly twiddling and turning to keep it tricky. Right now he's playing with the black on his backhand side.
Back inside the home of the Wichita State Shockers, Koch Arena, and here's the lineup for the Paddlers and the Spinners. Meeting number 6, Tyrese Knight, Andrew Tsao in the first singles spot. No Olajide Omatayo and no Jiwei Sha today. 2 AB players sitting this one out, which allows Rachel Sung and Fabi Diaz to play in that second singles spot. We also have the Swedish showdown in the 4th singles spot. Second time this year, Jonathan and Johan will square off.
Yeah, the Battle of Stockholm. So both players will have some bragging rights, as well as the Pacific Northwest, whether Seattle or Portland will get to say they were the best of the West.
First game to play.
Andrew Tsao will serve first against Tyrese Knight. First meeting between these two this year, which surprised me a little bit to realize they had not played before. The first point is any indication. It's going to be a pretty entertaining match.
1-0.
Andrew does have a bigger forehand.
0-2.
Tyrese will chip on the backhand, bringing it back with heavy underspin. Then given the opportunity, he'll try to step around and deliver a very strong forehand. That time just overplaying the ball a little bit.
0-3.
These games go fast.
Andrew Tsao is just outlasting Tyrese right now. Long rallies. Tsao's won them all. Andrew swept 3 straight games from Nishant Labaka on Friday night. Or I should say that was yesterday.
5-0.
Of course, that's something Sonora Silva couldn't do.
Exactly.
3 straight from Labaka, so that's impressive. And Andrew took 2 out of 3 from the Bay Area Blasters' Alexi Duan on Friday. So it's been a good weekend so far for Andrew and a fantastic start to this match Tyrese
1,
snaps the
5.
5-point string, gets his first.
Serve got away from Tyrese,
1,
just popped
6.
up. Andrew took care of business.
Much better serve on the second opportunity, but Knight
7,
sends the
1.
attack long. A little tentative.
Seven, 2.
Wow.
That is one monster of a forehand by Andrew
2,
Sau.
8.
Just no hesitation. Great body movement, putting
2,
everything
9.
into it.
Wait. 2, 9.
Just like Alexi Duan, Tyrese Knight, when he's asked who to play this weekend in singles, he
9,
can just say
3.
Sal. Took on Daryl.
9, 3.
And now Andrew.
The Sau brothers.
Ten, 3.
Game one belongs to Andrew Sau.
11, 3. First
Now
game.
6-1 in singles games on the weekend. Playing to the first singles spot, which has not been his customary position, but the young teenager has been very solid here in Wichita, and he's got the spinners out to the 1-0 lead.
It's a hobby of mine. I travel the world knocking down barriers, and I wouldn't do anything less here in Jackson. Jackson, thanks again for having me. Yeah, you need to keeping my eye on conditions. Didn't take you seriously. That's okay. It's okay. So, if you have any questions at any point about table tennis, why they do something, what's happening, how to happen tactically, just raise your hand and give me a look. I'll come over to you guys in the nosebleed section as well. In the back, I see you down there. Nice, looking sharp. Thanks for keeping an eye on the building for us. All right, game number 2 is about to start, so get ready. Andrew Sau in the night train, Tyrese Knight. Commercial break. Go buy some electrolytes at your local store. Hot dogs go on a barbecue. Dogs need to be cleaned up.
Time.
Seattle beginning
And
this
it's
day
time for
20
game
points
number
behind
2.
the paddlers in the standings.
Second game. Paddlers to
It will
serve.
require
0,
a
0.
21-0 win for Seattle to surpass Portland for third place. Andrew Sau certainly off to a
0, 1.
splendid start.
One,
Little
all.
battle of the side spins there, Tyrese.
The side spin scoop shots.
Tyrese does it much more often as a defender. Andrew loves the rip right down the middle of the table that time.
2, 1.
Wow. Look at that shot by Andrew Sau.
1,
High-level
3.
stuff. And if you look at what's happened this weekend and really all season long, the 11-3 score in game number 1 today is surprising in how lopsided it is.
2, 3.
Because 76% of all games through the MLTT season, this is over 1,300 games now, have been decided by 5 points
3,
or fewer.
all.
About half of all games have been decided by 3 or less. John, the next golden point we have will be the 200th golden point of the season, not including ultimate golden points. Had 6 of those, but 199 golden points so far.
4, 3.
And I can promise you we'll have a couple of those in this match. with these matchups. Very close level play. But Andrew Sau doing a really nice job being patient, taking his time. More importantly, keeping the ball in play when Tyrese is in the backcourt.
Four, 5.
Tyrese far more competitive here in game 2. What's changed?
Just doing a better job of mixing it up. Forehands landing.
5.
More importantly, great placement. You can see on that last ball, Andrew tried to step around, but played directly into his body.
Five, 6.
When Tyrese is aggressive on the first ball, he puts so much more pressure than when he goes straight into defense and gives the opponent a chance to make the first swing.
6, all.
Tyrese winding up like he's going to hit a winner,
6,
but it just catches
7.
the tape and sails off the table. Certainly a shot he expects to make. But we're tied 7-all as Sau
7
sends it
all.
wide.
We might be getting this golden point here in game 2.
We just might.
And then that ball changes
8,
the timing.
7.
Tyrese had already taken the backswing.
That's some off-season work I'd like for the MLTT social media staff. To put together a reel of all 200 golden points from the season, something like that.
I think that would be an excellent idea. And look at Tyrese Knight covering the whole
8,
table,
all.
finishing off with a step around from the backhand corner, going inside out to Andrew Sau's wide backhand.
Yeah. 9-8 lead for Tyrese Knight.
And Tyrese just making his
8.
offense count. Much more deliberate,
9, 8.
forcing the offense, taking Andrew out of his comfort zone. Once again,
8, 10.
Sau with a couple of serves, trying to fight off game points.
boy, there have been a number of net balls here in
9,
this match so
10.
far. Players keeping it extremely low.
And we've got the 200th golden point of the season,
All.
not including golden games. This is the 1,307th game of the year, and 200 of them have been golden points. And Andrew Sau wins it. Very different style of competition in game 2 compared to the 8-point rout in game 1. But same result nonetheless. Andrew Sau comes from 10-8 down and takes the golden point over Tyrese Knight.
If you work out enough and put on a shirt, we can help you with half of that. a shirt at the merch store. Other than that, we got a concession stand. The food is edible, and not only
Time.
that,
Tyrese
it's
Knight
delicious.
was
Hey,
close,
time for game number
but no
3.
cigar in game number 2.
Spinners to serve.
See what
0-0.
the Barbados native can do, trying to salvage a point for his team in game 3.
0-1.
Wow. Wow.
And Tyrese almost able to get that
1
back.
all. 2-1.
Andrew does not want that play to occur.
1-3.
He's back lobbing, playing defense, and Tyrese is up at the table, driving his forehand. That will be advantage paddlers.
2-3.
Fair to say that all choppers are more comfortable being farther away from the table than a guy with South style?
Absolutely.
Oh, goodness. Can you believe that?
Caught the net and snuck it under Tyrese's racket.
That's more like it from Tyrese Knight.
4-3.
And Andrew's doing a really
4-0.
nice job of when he is attacking, going out to the forehand, staying away from the long pips on the backhand side of Knight, which is red. You can hear it, it's a little bit of a higher pitch, but it can reverse the spin so effectively and literally give Andrew his loop back at him with the same amount of
5-4
underspin
change.
that he delivered off of the forehand topspin.
If we're calculating winners to unforced errors, Andrew South certainly has a very positive ratio this weekend. He's taken a lot of big swings, and more often than not, they've been good shots.
It just shows you a lot in his development as
5-0.
a player, willingness to go big. He has no problem in the power department. If there's any
5-6.
book on how to give Andrew difficulty, it's really the consistency of sometimes
7-5.
going for shots when maybe a block or a positional return would be a smarter move.
7-6.
They tend to
7-0.
even out. Generally, you don't feel that when it's occurring to you on the table. Seems like the ping pong gods are always frowning upon your
7-8.
side when the opponent gets one, but they are returnable, and often they're attackable if you're expecting it.
8-0.
Another very competitive game, 8-all. It's a de facto game to 3. Tyrese Knight handles the net ball there, stays on the point,
8-9.
gets the error from Andrew.
So many net and
9-all.
out, net and in balls in this match.
What do you think, Sean? Are we going to get another golden
I
point
think so.
here?
I think we will.
First game point belongs to Tyrese.
10-9.
Trying to get his paddlers on the board. And he will. So Knight
11-9,
salvages game
2-1
3. Still a
Spinners.
strong weekend for Andrew South, as Andrew goes 7-2 in singles games, but Tyrese gets his first victory of the day, and the paddlers are on the board here in Wichita.
Anyone else here named after a city or vice versa? No one? No Miami's here? Los Angeles, San Francisco, nobody? I think Madison and Jackson make for much better first names than Los Angeles or any of the cities I just named. Yeah, seriously. Wow. Do you have any other siblings that have cities named after them? What's your history with table tennis, Madison? Hey yo, go Luba! Look at this. Even while coaching, makes time for her fans. This is incredible. That was super. How'd you meet Luba? You own a hotel? That's pretty cool. Wow. Hey, you know, I like your outfit. Can I get a free room? Well, at least you called me sir. I feel pretty good about that. I feel respected. The customer service in the hotel is wonderful. And I'll be back.
For the first time in this MLTT season, Andrew Sau gets 3 match wins in a weekend. Andrew, congratulations. Did you have a sense coming into this weekend that it would be a good one for you?
Yeah, because I think I've practiced a lot within the last 2 months, and I feel very good in matches. So yeah, but actually I didn't even know I was gonna play until this morning. Yeah.
Are you excited to play for a third match and be in that first singles spot?
Of course, because like it's the last match of the season, and we're just trying to have fun and mix things up this match.
So knowing that you won't be playing in the playoffs, looking back at the entire season, what are going to be your biggest takeaways for what you learned, what it was like being in this particular team, and then looking forward to season 2?
I learned that it's a lot more than just singles. Like it's more as a team game, because all of us have to perform well together, especially in the Golden Game, to win the match instead of only singles.
Well, you finish 27 and 15 in singles games. How would you grade your first season as a pro?
I think I played really good. Like I didn't expect myself to play even this good, but yeah.
What are the biggest things you want to be working on going into next season?
I think overall, maybe in the rally, I need to be more consistent and maybe some physical improvements, and that's pretty much it. Yeah.
Andrew, it's been fun watching you battle. Congrats. We'll see you in doubles with Nikhil here shortly.
Thank you.
All right. Rachel Sung and Fabiola Diaz have both played singles sparingly this year, and this will be their first time in a singles match squaring off against each other. Rachel has often had Fabi's number in Golden Games, but how stylistically will these two players match up in a singles match over the course of 3 games to 11?
Well, really the biggest difference between these two, apart from the obvious righty-lefty matchup, is that Fabi Diaz plays with a pimpled out surface on her backhand side, which takes spin off the ball, but also allows her to hit it very flat. So she's going to try to slow down the rally, especially on the backhand side, and if the opportunity presents itself to crack that backhand in, her forehand's a little bit more control, keep it on the table. Rachel Sung, lefty, Olympian going to Paris, very tight and short serves, likes to make a small forehand opening and then quickly take the ball off the bounce and use rhythm and tempo to give her the advantage. Looks like Rachel is going to mix up the serves, both short and long, keep Fabi off balance.
0-1.
See it mix up on the serve, then a quick drop shot. Fabi's going to have to keep her feet moving in order to be in position to make her attacks. And there, Rachel Sung just snapping that forehand in.
Four straight points for Rachel Sung at the start.
4-0.
Too good.
Just like her roommate aiming
5,
long any
0.
loose high ball, instead of looping it, Rachel will go for a forehand smash, not as much spin. But
Wow.
then right off the bounce.
Fabi hit that return much better, and
0,
still
6.
Rachel was ready for it.
Rachel has such good timing, especially on the off the bounce shots. But Fabi has some very effective deep serves.
0, 7.
Fabi Diaz is in trouble right now. Just needs to break the ice, and that's not going to do it.
8, 0. Let.
Again, Rachel opting for a deep serve of her own.
Nine nothing to Rachel Sung.
9,
And not
0.
giving an inch every opportunity.
Yeah, ruthless. And a service error from Sung will get Diaz on the board.
1, 9.
Oh,
Tremendous
great
rally,
play.
and Diaz finding a little bit of a rhythm.
2, 9.
Not easy to keep that ball in play with Diaz as she's changing the speed and spin, especially off the backhand side. But there's Rachel Sung's
10,
powerful forehand smash. Whoa, nice play by Fabi.
10, 3.
Small pop-up, but stayed with it.
That's game, though.
11,
Diaz.
3. First game. Hagberg.
Was down 9-0, then scored 3 of the next 4 points, but Rachel Sung with a dominant opening game in this second singles spot. Paddlers back even, 2 points apiece here on a Sunday in Kansas.
Season. I think next season there will be more. But there's no rule about women having to play women. Actually, you guys came in a little late for the first one, but it was women versus men earlier today, just because that's the way it matched up. Styles are very different. Lily John, for example, in one weekend played 3 singles matches against men only, and she won the first 2, only dropping 1 game total. So, still an interesting style matchup here. But men and women will play in the Golden Game. Still TBD. So, back for game number 2. Let me hear you make some noise, Wichita! Just checking to see. We have so many commercials. Money is coming in. Major League Table Tennis getting picked up by Petco.
Game 2 here, about to begin. Rachel Sung and Fabiola
Second
Diaz.
game. Spinners to serve.
2-2
0,
on the
0.
scoreboard through 4 games. Final match of the regular season. Major League Table Tennis's first season of existence. And of course, this is the first season
1,
of fantasy
0.
table tennis as well. And the other significant storyline right now involves the endless competition
0,
of
2.
point pursuit and trash talk between myself and my esteemed color analyst, Sean O'Neill. And it's been a good weekend for MLTT
1, 2.
play-by-play in the fantasy. That's me. But you've had an excellent weekend as well, and you're in actually a position to surpass
3,
me, Sean.
1.
But Rachel Sung needs to have an unbelievable day for you. She's got 10 fantasy points already for her for the dominant
3,
win in
2.
game 1. There are 30 available points for her in the singles, 15 in the doubles, and then
Golden game.
Golden game where she could get as many as 32 points in fantasy if you each Golden game point is worth 4 fantasy points
4.
anyway. So what is that? 45 plus 32 is 77. So the maximum she could get is 77 points.
3,
If she gets
4.
52 points, you will tie me 53 points
53 for the win.
from Rachel would give you the win over me. And I know you don't really care about beating anybody else other than me.
Well, you know the new name of my team, so.
You changed it since
All.
last month.
So I did let Rachel know that during the walkout, that
Yeah,
all
and
the
she
pressure
looked- she
was
looked-
on
she
her.
looked mortified by you telling her that you were counting on her fantasy points. But
Four,
you know, it's an
five.
interesting wrinkle to the competition for sure. Every time that I have beaten you, I have been surprised because you are, you know, the godfather of American table tennis.
Absolutely.
6,
No,
4.
it's a major win, and the only consolation was when we got over on the table and we could work on your forehand and backhand,
Let.
that I felt like I was back in control.
Well, the reality is, you know, Matt Hetherington had a really good New Jersey event in March, but he has just been an afterthought this weekend.
He
So
hasn't
Matt,
even been in the discussion.
Matt needs to go back to the drawing board and
6,
rethink his
5.
entire strategy and game plan because the pride of New Zealand commentary has really had an embarrassing showing
And I'm
for
not,
his fantasy team's
not sure if I
Five,
even want to
7.
mention the late change by MLTT play-by-play who took advantage of some insider knowledge.
That's not insider knowledge. I looked at the lineup.
The lineup after it came out.
That's called
5,
using
8.
the information you have to your benefit. You're allowed to change your roster to set it right up until the first serve.
Exactly. And Rachel continues on a
9,
tear,
5.
and her forehand combo is paying big dividends.
Miss Mimi Smarty Pants, of all people, accused me of cheating,
10,
saying I had inside
5.
information when she is the queen of inside information.
She knows the travel schedule, whether anyone needs extra medication
11,
or if they
5.
have missed the bus.
Second game.
Rachel Sung has
Paddlers.
20 quick fantasy points for the Portland Paddlers. A little bit closer than game one, but still a lopsided score. Sung has outscored Diaz 22-8. We'll see if Fabi can change it up in game three.
Afterwards, when people are wrapping up, to hit around a little bit on an open table, get your autographs and pictures with some of the players. If you want to talk to me about table tennis, I love it. I love talking table tennis with you. So I'm excited for that. We'll have our chances too. We still have a minute. What's your name? Josh, Adam, and Libby. Cool, nice to meet you. Josh and Libby, what's your history with table tennis? Whoa, you're the nun, and you came out of the habit here today to play with us. I love it. How about you, Mom? I play recreationally more than the nun. No problem. It's all good. We'll get you guys started. I play recreationally by most people's standards. The pros here you can enjoy. I'm so curious if we're having commercials still. It's amazing. Get your real estate now. Buy some space in Major League Table Tennis. All the brands jumping on board. Remember, this is only season 1, and these players are making a living doing it.
Sung and Diaz back to the table for game three.
Third game.
Rachel will stay on the
Paddlers
table to
serve.
play doubles
0-0.
alongside Kole against Andrew Sow and Akil Kumar after this match. I mean, if Rachel is playing like that on her serve, is there
1-0.
anything Fabiola Diaz can do?
Just really has to have some spin, especially off her forehand loop, to
Let.
stop the easy smash, but the defensive returns aren't going to get it done. Rachel is just too powerful.
1-0.
Well, she could do some of that. I mean, the pushes
2,
that hit the net
1.
and come back over are very tough to return.
A 3-1 lead for Diaz
One,
here in game
three.
three.
Rachel needs to focus. And that's a beautiful backhand step
1-4.
over on the forehand side to get her pips into play. So, saw her play it cross court. Not a lot of spin on that ball. Oh, does it again, but Rachel's backhand is just
4-2.
too risky. Just snapping that into play. bring it back within 2 points.
Four, three.
So clean, so crisp. After
Four,
Rachel makes that
oh.
first opening spin, follows it up with a beautiful forehand hit. Nice play by both players. Rachel on the
5-4,
defense.
change.
With Fabi getting her forehand into
Players,
play.
change side.
Who's the favorite in the doubles match that's coming up, Sean?
That's truly an interesting mixed match with the
6-4.
mixed players from Portland against the all-male team of Seattle. I'm going to go with...
For the season, mixed doubles teams have actually done pretty well against men's doubles
I think
teams.
I'm going to go with Portland. I think just the fact they've played together so much and the righty-lefty, although Seattle will have the righty-lefty as well with Nikhil Kumar, who normally plays mixed doubles with Amy Wong, and will be going to Czech, flying from here to fight for a spot in Paris.
He's flying to the Czech Republic, and then he's flying to Peru right after that.
I mean, talk about some frequent flyer miles. We definitely wish Nikhil Kumar just the best in luck and fight and bringing a set of positions for Team USA to Paris, where he will join Rachel Sung, Amy Wong, and Lily Zhang. It's a very young and vibrant US team. Look at that backhand by Rachel Sung.
6-9.
That's a 10-point fantasy backhand. And Rachel just picking everything up off the bounce.
10-6.
Fabi Diaz sending everything her way.
Diaz is, really throwing everything she's got at Rachel, and yet it's just never been enough. It's a sweep for Rachel Sung. 11-3, 11-5, and 11-6. Domination from the electric Rachel Sung. Tremendous stuff. She got a singles game win over Elsea Lechine yesterday. Their first singles match win of the MLTT season. Well, Rachel Sung sweeps her singles match, and we're going to chat about it with her coach, Christian Lilyrose. Christian, Rachel was utterly dominant. What stood out most to you in that match?
No, they are. It's interesting when you play female-female. It's very different dynamic than play women against men. So this is something that Rachel is very strong against. They have played many times, and the surprise factor that Fabiola has with the medium pips is difficult for many people, but not for Rachel. She knows what's coming. She has good long serves, Fabiola does, but Rachel have seen them, so there's no surprise there. So she really dominated the women's game there. So she played very good and took care of business.
What, in your mind, Christian, has been the story of the weekend so far? Obviously not the weekend you dreamed of having What have been the things you've been reflecting about over the last couple days?
I'm reflecting a lot about sickness, injuries, debate, can you play, can you not play? That has been the story of the week, and not just for us. I mean, the same thing going with Seattle. They have one player sick also, who's not playing right now. So it's been a tough weekend. When it matters the most, the best players had to perform, and if they can't, results can flip-flop anywhere where it comes.
Before we let you go, what's been your favorite thing about coaching Major League Table Tennis in this first season?
Oh, that is different. It's been a lot of fun. I remember even from the first time in September, I just like, this is too much fun. I cannot stop doing this. I think the entertainment value in table tennis in general has been basically the best in the world. Better than WTT. That stands out.
Thanks for your perspective, Christian. But good luck in the doubles. Thanks.
Thank you so much.
So this mixed doubles match, the men's doubles team for Seattle against the mixed team for Portland. And it feels like a toss-up. Certainly Rachel Sung did Sean's fantasy team some huge favors.
I could use another
she got
15 points if possible here.
She got 30 for you. If I'll almost like I'll be a politician conceding if she sweeps this one too, and if you're within 7 going into the Golden Game, I like your chances. But if Seattle can win 1 or 2 of these, then the road gets that much tougher for you.
Well, the challenge is with Nikhil Kumar, who's serving. He has great double sense. Very effective as a lefty, mixing up the placement, mixing up the spin, can bring power and placement. And if he can set up Andrew Sau to let him do the heavy lifting, it can be a very formidable doubles team.
What about the fact that Collet and Rachel Sung have played together all season long, while Nikhil and Andrew are playing together for the first time in a match?
Yeah, I think the familiarity, like just that type of shot right there, knowing where to go and really to be able to protect your partner after you make a good shot. Are you playing it to a location where the opposing team can counterattack? You're not going to see that happen too much with the Portland team, whereas bigger shots from Seattle, but also bigger openings on the returns. Nice deep push by Kumar.
6-3.
Rachel had an opportunity. But Seattle just jumping out to a very strong 7-3 lead here in game 1. We've seen Nikhil Kumar going for those deep pushes, hoping that Rachel Sung, when she plays that first offensive ball, will be more of a lifting shot, which allows Andrew to cover it, counterattack.
8-4.
Great strategic play there by the spinners. And there, Rachel says, if you go to the well that many times, you're going to see my backhand. And she just jumped on that ball. If Portland's up at the table and Seattle's off of it, big advantage to Portland because of the firepower of Collet and Rachel Sung. But if the Seattle spinners can mix it up,
6-9.
keep one player close to the table, and let Nikhil float around.
Game point for the spinners.
10-7.
That'll do it for game 1. Rare miss from Rachel Sung. Surprised to see her miss with how locked in she's been. But Andrew Sau and Nikhil Kumar looking pretty comfortable together as a doubles pair, and Seattle is back within 1 on the scoreboard. Andrew and Nikhil take game 1, 11-7.
Madison and I are getting it off talking some table tennis. The question was to stomp. If stomp is wide, so the weight transition stops him and brings him into any position. It's a good thing to immediately come to a sharp stop. Also, the sound of the contact with the ball is a big indicator as to how much spin is on it. So, by stomping at the point of contact, they mask the sound. So it makes it a little bit tougher for the opponent to know exactly how much rotation is on it. This program has been brought to you by Butterfly, official sponsor for Major League Table Tennis. Hot dogs, concession stands. If you have more questions, I'm watching our main guy, the floor manager here, who's got his hand up. Because we're on commercial break. If anyone has any questions in the building, don't be shy. I love curious people. I am one. So,
certainly fun to see members of the Wichita State Shockers faithful here inside Koch Arena for table tennis this weekend. Look forward to being at Loyola University of Chicago 3 weeks from now.
1-0.
Home of the Ramblers. Loyola Chicago made a run to the Sweet 16 of the NCAA tournament men's basketball a few years back under Porter Moser.
Zero, 2.
Certainly Wichita State has had a slew of great basketball players compete here at Koch Arena. Several Olympians
1,
in action
2.
this weekend here in the West Division competition, final weekend of the season.
3,
Rachel Sung
1.
headed to Paris in the summer.
And right now, with Kole, who had played for Ukraine in the Olympics, and Nikhil, who played in Tokyo.
Yep.
Rachel, soon to be a first-time Olympian, which would
3,
give us 3
2.
out of the 4 in this particular match.
Do you think Andrew Sau has that type of potential?
Absolutely, absolutely. If he stays with it, definitely not outside his reach. Would love to see Nikhil and Amy Wong
2, 4.
make the mixed doubles pairing next weekend in Czech Republic.
Have you thought about the time zone considerations of when you're going to have to be awake
2,
to watch
5.
that?
Well, it's wonderful with YouTube and all the different platforms that are streaming these days that back in the day I used to have to call the press desk at the Washington Post to get results from a day ago.
Really?
A day before at World Championships.
You literally called the desk on your rotary phone?
Exactly, exactly. And they would give me 12-hour updates of what happened the day before.
7, 2.
Oh, beautiful over-the-table forehand smash
2,
by Rachel
8.
Sung. She's hit a number of balls by Nikhil in this game and up 8-2. And now you see when the orders change,
2,
the
9.
experience of Portland is shining brightly.
Wow. Olay, just
10,
ripping it,
2.
just messing around.
Nikhil looking around like, what sport is going on here?
10, 3.
The first of 9 game points fought off
Oh,
by Seattle.
that's an interesting
and,
serve.
Well, there's the second of 9 game points
4,
fought
10.
off with a service error that looked like one of mine. Makes me feel better about some of mine, quite frankly. But the game does go to the paddlers.
11-4, second
So
set.
Kole and Rachel Sung bounce back in game 2.
And
Rubber
just
game
think,
of the doubles.
you had Kole in your fantasy.
It hasn't been Kole's best weekend of the season, but he was sharp in that game, aside from the service error late.
But it still has to come down on the chance. Nice. All right. Cool. What's your name? Ed? That's so cool. One of our leaders is named
MLTT.com/shop to snag your own MLTT merch.
It's time for the game.
Official jerseys, t-shirts, and so much more. Game 3 here in the doubles begins with an ace from Andrew Sow.
Serve and a whiff. Rachel again over the table.
1.
No problem putting the ball away.
Rachel Sung did not miss that one.
2, 1.
I'm sure you've thought about it, John. For your fantasy team, this is a huge game.
It absolutely is, but I've got confidence in Portland.
1, 3.
I should say I've got confidence in Rachel.
Wow.
Beautiful drop shot by Andrew.
2, 3.
If Rachel wins this game, you'll need
3
3
all.
golden game points in her favor to catch me. And that would just tie.
And she's going to play at least 8, I'm sure.
Well, we'll see.
So I've talked to Christian.
4,
I've
3.
told him
Well, now
that
who's tampering?
his ride back from the airport.
This certainly sounds like much greater tampering than anything I might have done.
Hey, it's just the intel.
5,
I knew you
3.
needed to ride
Change.
back from the airport, and you do what you have to.
Paul Chi and Isaac Villa Ortiz coming up. The third singles spot. It'll be their first ever meeting in MLTT. Oh, short ball from Nikhil Kumar, and again, Kole Lake getting up there.
The double drop shot has worked wonders for Seattle.
All.
Nice short return by Rachel Sung,
6,
just
5.
getting her racket underneath the ball, changing the spin, shoving it deep. Big point here. Kumar with the chop
6.
from the backcourt. Portland had the opponents where they wanted it, but Kole unable to execute on the final forehand, driving it into the net to tie this third game up at 6 apiece.
Wow. Andrew Sow, what's he pointing at?
Can't believe he didn't
6,
make
7.
contact. That ball just
The air did not work the way he expected it to. Here in the air capital of the world, Wichita, Kansas.
7, all.
It's a game to 4 to win this doubles match.
Andrew needs to keep his feet moving.
8, 7.
Saw where the ball was going, but just started reaching for it. And normally,
8,
that is a
all.
shot that Rachel will make 9 out of 10 times. Just going long off the push. A little bit more spin to bring the ball down. We're tied up at 8 again. Oh, great drop shot by Rachel.
8-9.
But brought back a higher ball for Cole to just finish. Oh, look at that backhand attack directly off the serve.
10-8.
Game points for the paddlers. And that will finish it. Cole smacks an inside-out forehand winner.
Cole.
Rachel Sung helps her team get 5 big points and helps Sean O'Neill get 40 big fantasy points as he tries to chase down his leader in the fantasy department, yours truly. 6-3 paddlers.
It's so funny. I'm really I like the sportsmanship too. And it sucks that I'm going to say this, but it's sort of a standard that they have a 2-minute warm-up before the game. But they are good sports. They do like each other. They're good friends off the court. And Scott's on TV right now. Brown, you're on TV. Hey, Jackson Madison, looking sharp. Good times up here. Oh, Xavier. Nice, Patrick. Nathan, farmhouse in the house. Chris, oh, this is cool. This is fun. I'm just practicing names out here. Chris has been fast. Chris is fit. I don't know if you saw this. Moving around here, having a good time. Noah, nice to see you. Johan. All right. He's the founder of Wichita Table Tennis Association. Is it Wichita? What's the website?
Welcome back to Major League Table Tennis here in Wichita. We're joined by Portland's Rachel Sung. Rachel, 2 out of 3 points in the doubles, 3 points for your team in the singles. How gratifying is it to play as well as you did today?
For us, it's the last match of the season, so it feels great just to kind of end it on a high note personally and hope the best for my team moving forward.
So as I mentioned, as you're getting ready to come in, I do have you in my fantasy league, so it's absolutely critical in the golden game that you tell Christian you want to play in one of the leadership roles and get as many points. Otherwise, I'm going to have to listen to Evan, so just make sure.
Do you have a question,
No
Sean?
question, just a comment and an encouragement for Rachel, who played so good, especially on the short balls, to keep the pressure on, keep moving your feet, and then just bring home the W for the Portland Paddlers Fan Support Club.
Yeah.
Rachel, my question for you is, when you reflect back on this season from September to now, what have been your biggest takeaways from your first year competing as a pro?
I think definitely like the new format. I think it's really taught me a lot on how to deal better with critical points, and I think it's definitely something I've been working on and I feel like have improved as the season went by.
And last thing, Rachel, last night at the hotel there was a meeting called and no one really knew what it was going to be. It turns out it was a celebration for you and Amy and Lily. There was a cake with replicas of you that Sean designed. What was, we're seeing video of it right now. What was it like to have everybody celebrating your trip to the Olympics this summer?
It was a really big surprise. So I think all of us were extremely grateful just to MLTT for even recognizing that, and we're just really excited. Yeah.
What was the moment like when you realized you qualified for the Olympics for the first time?
I don't think it really like sunk in like right there in the moment. I was just kind of overwhelmed, but yeah, it just felt like a dream come true. It was really unbelievable for me.
Have you gotten any like fun emails from like the U.S. Olympic Committee about logistics or just like what you have to do to prepare to be in the Olympics for the first time?
Not yet, maybe as it gets closer, but there's been some emails about like hospitality and like travel times. Yeah, so it's starting to feel a lot more real now. Cool.
Well, Sean and I will be looking for you on a boat in the opening ceremonies going down the River Seine, and we wish you the best of luck, and thanks for being a part of this first MLTT season,
Thank
Rachel.
you so much.
Thank
Great
you.
job.
You know how they're doing the Olympic opening ceremonies this year? It's different than any other opening ceremonies ever, where the delegations are going to be on boats coming down the river through Paris.
Even better. Leave it to the French to try something new.
Isaac Villa versus Paul Chi. First meeting between these two players this season.
0-0.
Portland has a 6-3 lead as the match begins. Sean, what do you remember about your first opening ceremonies in Seoul, South Korea, 1988?
Yeah, I think the biggest one was just being among friends. Unfortunately, I was the only male that qualified, so I was hanging out with the archery team. And they showed me how they were winning their gold and silver medals, which made me want to fight even harder to make it for Barcelona. But opening ceremony is obviously a big key. 88 to 92, obviously the dream team was the feature story there.
In 92, yeah.
Yeah, so.
What were the big stories of the 88 Olympics going into it, you know, from the big picture?
The challenges were the big drug scandal with Ben Johnson winning the 100-meter dash and then getting disqualified. And yeah, that was eating up a lot of the oxygen for the very first table tennis in the games. Korea played extremely well, winning a number of gold and silver medals, taking out the Chinese. Definitely a great honor.
As an athlete in the Olympics, do you get a pass that enables you to go watch other events?
Absolutely. You just use your credentials. You can walk in. There's a section of every event for athletes only. And as coaches, you can also do the same thing.
Sounds fun. What events did you go watch when you weren't competing?
I watched archery because I was hanging out with the men in the village and saw some track and field. But the craziest thing was, right after I finished competing, within 5 minutes, I was up in the NBC booth. They asked for some help because they had never done table tennis before, so got to wear 2 different caps, which has kind of led me to working with you.
Right.
Got a chance to work with Bud Collins, tennis great out of Boston, a number of Wimbledons and French Opens.
What was life like in the Olympic Village? I mean, how social were all the athletes with one another from different countries and different sports?
I think if I had to sum it up with one word, it would be respect. Everyone there realized what it took to get them there. And regardless of the sport or the chance to medal, dining hall, you could be sitting next to 3 gold medalists from your country or Boris Beck, I mean, just players from all around the world, and you didn't see too much autographs or selfies at the time. We didn't have social media, but just a lot of respect and wishing everyone the best of luck in their competition.
I'm sure you had your iPhone in 1988 in Seoul, South Korea, though, right?
No,
not so much.
It was
Did you stay in a dorm room with a landline in it?
We shared a landline within the entire Team USA, and I remember kicking Evelyn Ashford off the phone, saying, "You've been on it past 10 minutes, give it up. You talk to your agent at some other time."
Who did you need to call?
I had to call somebody to find out if I was allowed to do the commentary, because normally you can't play both roles of an athlete and a press person. So they said in this case they need some help.
8-7.
I got the green light from NBC.
Paul Chi, a 9-7 lead here in game 1 against Isaac Villa.
Both these players playing in the 3-4 spot have really upped their game later in the season. I think Villa has benefited the most from just regular team practices. And Paul, this weekend, taking out Lachine, as well as just getting his forehands. Oh, that's a tremendous backhand by Villa down the line.
9-10.
Paul has been going for big shots in each of his prior matches.
Isaac Villa comes from behind to take game 1 over Paul Chi. 11-7 to Villa. And excuse me, 11-9 to Vila, and Portland gets its 7th point of the match. Alrighty, back here at Coke Arena, game 2 of this 3rd singles match. Paul Chi felt like he was kind of in control of Sean, and then all of a sudden Isak Vila turned the table on him.
A couple really nice backhands at the end of game 1 to give Vila the victory.
If you don't mind, I have a couple more questions about the Olympics. And the most important one is, how is the food in the Olympic Village in Seoul, South Korea in 1988?
It was very good, and they have a lot of international stations based on the fact that players from all over the world, so you could have a different cuisine every day if you wanted. And I will say the best food I've had also helping with the Paralympic team was in Beijing. Peking duck every meal. It was just amazing.
Do you remember the food being either better in Seoul or Barcelona?
Barcelona had a Pizza Hut and McDonald's.
In the Olympic Village?
In the village. And we had unlimited, you just show your card, you get as many sundaes or Hawaiian pizzas that you wanted. Barcelona was on the beach as well.
That's right, you're a Hawaiian pizza guy, aren't
exactly.
You and my wife, I don't get it. I like pineapple, I just don't want it on my pizza.
Clearly you don't want to eat your way out of a medal, but it's kind of like a cruise ship where it's 24/7 unlimited food, plus all the Coca-Cola you can drink.
Is there alcohol in the Olympic Village?
I think in the Olympic House, which is where all the celebrations go on. I think Budweiser might have been a sponsor, or one of the other major beverages. Paul Chi, what a nice combo there.
2-5.
To really set the stage here in day 2.
Five, 3. Six, 3.
So the other Olympic story I'll share is that in Barcelona, we had our own laundry services that we could make and do our own laundry versus handing it in. I needed a little bit of help one day, and as I found a short guy with red hair, I asked him if he could show me how it worked. Turned out it was tennis Jim Courier was helping me do my laundry.
7.
And I thought he was much bigger on TV. He was a short guy, maybe like 5'8", 5'9", big forehand. But
Jim's become one of my favorite TV analysts.
He is excellent, isn't he?
He's so smart.
8-4.
He has a way of delivering the information in a digestible way.
Very similar to the way he played tennis, where known for after winning a slam to go out on a 3 or 5 mile run. Just very effective.
That's what you do after most broadcasts, right?
Exactly, yeah. To the player lounge.
9-4.
Paul Chi with,
I was thinking about this, Sean. I remember our first time working together was in Daytona Beach. And after the Sunday competition wrapped up, you and I went for a nice little walk on the beach together to reflect on the weekend. I wanted to invite you for an afternoon walk along the Arkansas River with me this afternoon if the weather permits.
As long as there's no geese along the pathway.
Well, that's the real reason I want you to
I
come,
was gonna
is
say,
to be there to protect me.
I was going to say, just want to make sure that I have my running shoes on if you choose that route.
Timeout taken by Seattle.
You know, when he slips only this one to your forehand one because you missed many. When you did push him to that white corner in the forehand, that works. Because when he does the serve, you put it exactly where he stands, he attacks. So go wide in the forehand with that serve. You have the perfect curve to do that. Okay? And those serves that you're doing are working. Stick with what it's working. Don't be afraid. Okay? Don't change because you want to change. The stone one to his backhand. Yeah, he's standing too close to the table. Okay? Yeah. Those serve are good for him. Change placement maybe, but that serve works. Okay, and be ready. You have to be ready. And get back closer to the table. Yeah. Okay.
How does he generate so much power?
Let's go. Fight, fight. Let's go. 2 serves.
It's been interesting to watch the coaches all throughout the season. All 8 coaches in the league have just been remarkably dedicated, but they obviously, have their different styles. And also, this is something that while all these coaches have a ton of experience, no one has ever coached this format before. So in terms of team management and timeout usage and lineup management, it's been a learning experience, and they've evolved as the season has progressed.
The lineup has been so major, not just on who's playing the actual team match, but then when we get into the golden game, you have to be leading in order to have that big advantage. And Paul Chi takes game 2, very straightforward fashion, taking advantage of the timeout.
Yeah, it's been a good weekend for Paul. Played well the other night against El Sayed Lachine, and now he's got a game off Isaac Vila. Rubber game in this singles match is on the way. Isaac Vila and Paul Chi, 1 game apiece.
Third weight.
We got
Third
a let.
game. Paddlers to serve.
Isaac Vila pulled the trigger on the serve as Ivana Knežević, lead umpire, was announcing the situation for the entire arena.
1-0. Zero, 2. One, 2.
All right, Sean, you've had plenty of time to think about it. Championship weekend. Game number 1, the Bay Area Blasters against the Princeton Revolution. Who do you like?
I'm going to go Bay Area. I've got friends on Revolution, love their ownership, but I just think
3-2.
that if Bay Area brings the full slate, especially with Lily. They are so strong. They're going to represent the Western Conference to get to the finals.
4.
All right, you got the Bay Area Blasters. Game 2 on semifinal Saturday will feature the Carolina Gold Rush and the Texas Smash. And
5-2
just to
change.
remind you, during the interdivisional weekend, Carolina beat Texas 12-9. But as that score suggests, Texas had a 9-6 lead at the end of regulation. So for most of that match, Texas outplayed Carolina. What do you think happens in the rematch?
I don't think you can bet against Enzo. He is so solid. He brings so many points. Super professional. I know that the Texas team is going to be super hungry.
5-3.
They're young. They want to get it done now. I think the experience of Enzo, Hong Lin, I think they've just been the class act for the entire season on the East Coast. So
6-3.
those will be my 2 semi-picks.
That takes us to Championship Sunday. And in the third place match, by your bracket, it'll be Princeton against Texas. Who do you like in that one?
3-7.
I think I'm going to go Princeton. I think they're going to get the bronze.
And then
great variety of styles with Princeton also. Love their defensive players.
So in Sean's bracket, he's got a championship game featuring the Carolina Gold Rush and the Bay Area Blasters.
3-8.
Let me quickly pull up their interdivisional weekend results. They played the first match of that interdivisional weekend, and Carolina won 16-5. Jimbao Ma beat Roman Lawrence 3-0, and then it was all Carolina after that. DuPont over Douan 2-1. Angles and Lin swept the doubles. Of course, Lily Zhang was not there, so it was
9-3.
Angie Tan playing with Cao and Zhang. Kai Zhang won 3 straight over Adi Gadwani, and then Enzo beat Tao and Zhang 2-1. So it'll be a very different lineup for the Bay Area Blasters in Chicago.
10-3.
Who do you think is going to come out?
Got to go with Gold Rush.
You got the Gold Rush.
Yep. Gold Rush for the gold.
4-10.
The experience, teamwork, the variety of styles that they bring to the mix.
11-4.
Good win for Isak Vila as he dispatches Paul Chi. 11-4 in game 3. That clinches the lead for the Paddlers heading into the final golden game of the regular season. But we got one more singles match still to come. McDonald versus Hagberg. If you haven't already done so, make sure you check out MLTT.com, news scores, video merch, email sign up, and oh so much more. We got one more singles match in the West Division's regular season, the Swedish Showdown. Johan Hagberg for Seattle and Jonathan McDonald for Portland. Sean, we saw these guys battle a couple months ago. It was actually the end of January in Portland. McDonald outdueled his countryman 2-1. Do you look at McDonald as the favorite, or do you look at this as basically a toss-up?
I think McDonald has a slight edge. Watching Hagberg in his previous match, he was really opting for a lot of forehand and backhand cut serve returns, and I don't think that's going to work off of McDonald's long serve. So the McDonald serve, I think, is going to be the differential. Very fast, deep to the corners, and then he likes to play with his backhand. Hagberg, big forehand, big highlight player. Unfortunately, he will not get a chance, regardless of the outcome, to meet us in the interview zone, as we'll be going towards the order for the Golden Game.
And very few players have coveted the post-game interview like Johan Hagberg has. Perhaps if he helps his team win the Golden Game, we'll have one more chat.
Yeah, we'll bring him back in to top off the season.
Well, you look at, you know, where have these teams fallen short this year? And there is one glaring thing. Both teams have lost the Golden Game 4 times after starting with a lead. And that's tied for the league lead in that department.
1-3.
And that's
those 6 points you can't get back.
That's right. The other 6 teams in the league
1-4. Wait.
have only had 9 instances where they've lost a Golden Game after having a lead, and Portland and Seattle have done it 4 times each.
4-2.
We'll see what happens today. Portland did come back from behind against Seattle. The first 5-0 comeback to this stage. One of just 2 5-0 comebacks. Portland would have a 5-0 lead heading into this Golden Game if McDonald can get at least 2 points here in this final singles match.
I think it took the coaches a while to really figure out the importance of the order of play and getting these mismatches, especially going into the Golden Game with the lead.
4-all.
Hagberg really loves to toss the ball high on his serve and then mix it up with spin. And his big forehand is what he relies on.
4-6.
And that's true to form with Jonathan McDonald.
5,
deep serve,
6.
Get a backhand into play, and then come with the longer stroking forehand.
6-all as they go back to the towels. By the way, Sean, you didn't ask, but I have a different prediction for championship weekend than you do.
Okay, for the Revolution.
I think Princeton is going to beat the Bay Area Blasters.
Okay, in the first semifinal?
In the first semifinal. And I like Carolina over Texas in the second semifinal.
7-all.
All East final.
And I think Princeton is going to win it. I think they have been the best team in the second half of the season. I think we finally saw the best doubles team from Princeton. They beat Enzo and Hong with Jishan and Angela. And I like Princeton's depth, as I've said all season long. Now I'm curious what Matthias Habasson is going to do, because over the course of the season you travel 6 players, 5 of them play each day, but you have to mix and match. So all the CD players each sit out 1 match for the weekend. So that requires you to have 6 players to play over the course of the weekend. At championship weekend, it's going to be different. McDonald catches the edge. Tough break for Hagberg, and Jonathan has a game point.
It's been one of those weekends for Hagberg where something could go wrong. His luggage, I think, is still in Europe on his flight over.
Tough. McDonald takes game 1, 11-8.
11-8.
Talk a little bit more about championship weekend and why I think Princeton has the goods to take the crown after they started the season with just 1 win in their first 7 matches in the fall. Portland now has a 9-4 lead over Seattle as McDonald takes game 1 over his Swedish countryman.
Watch the fancy serves of Hagberg. So much side spin on him. The biggest smile I've seen. I don't know if you saw the picture of Jonathan McDonald. Teeth all the way around. All right, supporting Hagberg right now. 9-4. Fight continues. Time is called for back. Game number 2.
Game 2 underway. Johan Hagberg off to the 2-point lead. And McDonald gets on the board. So as I think about a potential Carolina-Princeton rematch, I wonder, you know, who's going to play for Princeton in the CD slots? Well, it'll be 2 of the 3, presumably, regarding availability. Don't know, but DeSantalan, Koyo, and Prishepa. And I think regardless of which of the 2 of those 3 play, I like their chances against Kai Jong and either Bastien Dupont or Jeremy Hazine.
Yeah, I would. Winning the lower tier is going to be big for the Revolution.
And look, I don't know if there's any player in the league that has improved his level from September to now than Jinxin Wang. He was really sluggish at the start of the season.
He had a slow start.
But the last couple months, I mean, playing through some personal adversity that he's had to deal with and the loss of his mom, he's just played at a really high level, been really impressive. So, and obviously Jishan, you know, took 2 out of 3 from Enzo Angles earlier this season. So, yeah, I just think Princeton has figured something out in the second half of the season.
Well, in all league matches and leagues around the world, it's great to have the superstar, but it's those 3 and 4 players that really do get the job done. And I will agree with you, Evan, that Princeton on the lower tier looks really good on paper.
So I think about that as well in regards to, you know, their matchup with the Bay Area Blasters. You know, we don't know who will play between Silva, Duan, and Lachine. But those
I got to think Silva and Lachine.
I would think so too. I mean, so let's say it's Silva and Lachine against, you know, Koyo and Prishepa.
6-5.
It's going to be just a great match.
Yes,
I mean, and of course, when you've got Silva, the extra incentive to give the team that brought him into out of the pool,
5-7.
Nice little thank you message.
Of course, we'll have championship weekend 3 weeks from now. And then just a few weeks after that, mid-late May, we'll have the second MLTT draft.
Encourage everyone to tune in. I believe it's going to be
Tuesday, May 21st.
Early for the West Coasters.
Not that early. Noon Eastern. I think it's noon Eastern.
Yep.
We have noon Central time on the graphic, but I think it's noon Eastern is the tentative schedule. If it's noon Central time, well, then I've got an extra hour to eat lunch before the draft. MLTT.com will have all the info leading up to it.
Seven, 9.
McDonald staying close in this game with the serve, trying to tie it up at 9 apiece.
Flailing like Spider-Man from the crouch position. Hagberg could not find the table.
So McDonald takes both points on his serve.
Oh, great return by Jonathan McDonald.
9,
Sets
10.
up the game point.
Wait.
Oh, we've got a golden point here, Sean.
10, 10.
All right,
McDonald
here we go,
had the shot he wanted.
Say it with me.
Just unable to convert.
Points.
McDonald serves, double game point. Oh, Hagberg catches the edge and takes game 2.
11, 10.
So just like in January, the two friends from Sweden will go to a rubber game. Two very close games again, 11-8 to McDonald in game 1, but Hagberg takes the golden point for Seattle.
Everybody should be playing at your local club. You'll have the social group, you'll have challenges, inspiration. I think challenges are what make life exciting. Right now, 2 players on the table up for a big challenge because only one player.
Still sign up for MLTT Fantasy League, be a part of the championship weekend event. There are prizes awarded for the top finisher every single weekend. This is the 1,320th and final game of the MLTT regular season, not including the Golden Games, in which we're about to have the 88th and final Golden Game of what's been a pretty incredible first year of MLTT. I think it's probably exceeded even Flint Lane's wildest imaginations in a variety of ways when he conjured this league into existence.
Well, I think the biggest genius is the Golden Game. So often in world competition, when you have a mismatch or a slight advantage for one team, playing the best of 5, similar to Davis Cup, very anticlimactic, play 3 and you're done. Golden Game completely changes everything. No lead is safe. Of course, when we go into the playoffs, the Golden Game will be even bigger as the deciding factor where teams can start with an even greater margin as compared to today where it will be maximum 5. Right now, Johan Hagberg would like to bring it to a 3-point lead.
A 5-2 lead for Johan Hagberg here in game 3. Another look at the bracket. The Blasters and the Revolution, 4 p.m. Central Time, 20 days from now, Carolina and Texas will follow. Championships will culminate 3 weeks from today in Chicago. Hagberg rips another winner. He's playing well here in game 3.
And the other element, Evan, is just how MLTT has really brought the world to the U.S. borders and given the aspiring U.S. players a chance to play in front of home crowds, be able to continue to go to school, and just give them an opportunity to experience professional table tennis.
What's been your favorite crowd of the season? I got to imagine I know the answer.
Yeah, it's between Daytona Beach and Portland, so I'm going to go with Portland. You know, the home fans, and I think the biggest credit there goes to Jiwei Shaw, who just playing with 102 temperature, couldn't get out of bed on Friday, but brought Portland back into the chase with his amazing matches on Saturday and Sunday, and having the entire Portland table tennis community, as well as a lot of new faces, people who hadn't seen the sport, and just coming out and standing room only.
It was an epic atmosphere in January. These two players, McDonald and Hagberg, played in front of that atmosphere against one another.
But I will say that Pleasanton, with Lily's crowd and her fans, cheering for her, where she took 6 individual games against the men.
She beat both of these guys.
And did it in convincing fashion.
And look, there's no shame in losing to a 4-time Olympian in Lily John.
Absolutely not.
We got ourselves a timeout here for Portland. It's a 1-point game here in the rubber game, final game of regulation.
Strategy again. Every time you go behind the table, the ball misses the table. You cannot lob here because you don't know what's the environment with the wind. You were playing really good closer to the table, and all of a sudden you started backing up. Stay with what's working. Your serve to that forehand, it's working. Try it again. Be confident. And then attack to the forehand. Okay?
What, 15 to 0? They'll start to
Let's go on. We need it. Let's go.
15 to 0 lead. In the playoffs, if someone comes back from down 0-15 to win, they win. They move on to the final. So they will play till the very end. That'll be interesting to see. It's unprecedented. It's the very first that they've ever played this way. Back from the timeout, Jay Hagberg with Jonathan McDonald, 1 point behind.
Correct something I said.
7-8.
I think I said it as well.
Yeah, well, Lily Jong beat Johan Rebete, and Jonathan McDonald had a good battle with Johan Hagberg losing 2 games to 1. We got a good battle here in game 3. 8-all. Now, there's obviously a big difference in having a 5-point lead to start the Golden Game versus just a 3-point lead. And McDonald inches in front, 9-8.
8-9.
You saw Hagberg listening to his bench, getting back up to the table, not wanting to go full defensive and lob mode in this final few points.
9-all.
Nine to 9. 1 game apiece. McDonald serves. And Hagberg takes the lead again.
Great hooking block into the body by Hagberg. Would not be surprised if he goes for the winner directly off the serve.
Wow. McDonald handles the net ball, and the tension rises just a little bit here in Wichita. Final game of the season, final golden point in a game to 11 of the regular season. The 202nd golden point of the year. Hagberg serves. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. A net ball deserves an edge ball, and Hagberg with something of a smiley, sarcastic celebration. What a wacky way for that match to conclude. Can you believe it? It's a cruel, cruel game sometimes. We got one more golden game still to come.
Johan Hagberg with the biggest smile we've seen all season. Doesn't it melt your heart? Wow, Portland Paddlers will start off with a 3-0 lead. And that was really something else. What a match, what a battle. So, the golden game will determine the winner in this match. It's either going to be 15-6 or it's going to be 12-9 because it's winner takes all in the golden game. Now I know many of you have your favorites. Libby, I know who your favorite is, but I'm not going to say it out loud because she's very shy and she's from Puerto Rico. Joking. She didn't tell
Final
me,
match
but
of the
I can
first
figure
regular
because I'm a
season
good
in Major
reader.
League
Not
Table
in books
Tennis
and
between
words.
Portland and Seattle.
Good times.
And the
So
Spinners
all
got
your
off to the
favorite
good
players
start.
will be
Andrew
back for
Sal
action
took
right
2 out of
now.
3 from Tyrese Knight. But then Rachel Sung took the table and came to play. 3 straight games demolishing Fabiola Diaz, and then in the doubles, Rachel along with Collet took 2 out of 3. So that gave Portland a lead. They have led ever since. Isaac Vila continued the Paddlers' momentum with 2 out of 3 in the third singles spot over Paul Chi. And then an entertaining battle of the Swedes in the fourth singles spot. McDonald took game 1 11-8, but then both golden points going to Jay Hagberg, including this cruel, cruel way to finish it. McDonald can't help but smile. That sets the stage for the final golden game of the MLTT regular season. And we await the lineup with Christian Lily Rose, Luba Sadovska, and Mimi Bosica.
It's not over yet because we got one last golden game before Chicago. And these coaches are about to play their hands. They're going to shuffle their players and they're going to strategically create the lineup here with our very own Mimi Bosica. How much time do we have? We're good? I'll hand the mic.
Adam. Okay, so we have the Portland Paddlers leading 9-6, which means you will begin with a 3-point lead. Seattle, you will serve first and you will choose first.
Paul Chi.
Paul Chi will go first. Who will play first for Portland?
Isaac.
Isaac Vila will go first and second.
Curling.
Collet will go second. Seattle.
Nikhil.
Nikhil Kumar will go second and third.
Andrew Tsao.
Andrew Tsao will go third. How about you, Coach?
Tyrese.
Tyrese Knight, and then who will go fourth?
Jonathan.
Jonathan McDonald, fourth.
Johan.
Johan Hagberg will go fourth, which means Fabiola will go fifth for you, and Rachel Sung fifth. Excellent. Good luck. Let's have fun.
Good luck.
Mimic, me too.
What do you think, Sean?
Bring it
Johanna,
on.
you want to
I
say
think
something?
Rachel needs to be winning a couple points here for the home team.
Just to clarify, you're focused on your fantasy team right now, and you're only focused on surpassing me. And you need 12 points from Rachel Sung from the fantasy perspective to tie me.
And it's 4 points
Yeah, so
per point.
if she wins 3 points in the golden game, you will tie me, as this is a look at what we had coming into this final match. I'm MLTT P by P at the top. You're a MLTT color to beat Evan, exclamation point, factorial, whatever you want to say. Anyway, so you need 3 points from Rachel to tie me, 4 from her to win.
They're gonna play.
Meanwhile, we got a 9-6 lead for Portland, and we got Paul Chi and Isaac Vila to get us started.
And Isaac Vila with the spin takes the first point. So now that 4 points are on the scoreboard, they will switch in. Coming in for the Portland Paddlers, it is Collet. And on the receive, Nikhil Kumar, 4 serving 0.
That
Top edge of the racket, the ball down the stadium. Brian
Great serve return by Nikhil, unable to convert. The paddlers continue. Twice, the ball clips the edge of Nikhil's paddle and goes straight up. Paddlers looking very strong.
Seattle gets its first point of the Golden game. Ole takes 3 out of 4 over Nikhil Kumar.
7-1 in the night train is coming in.
By the way, the craziest thing about our personal situation is the New Jersey weekend last month, you literally beat me in fantasy by 1 fantasy point.
That's all it takes.
It's the first time you beat me all season, so
it's okay. It's not how you start, it's how you finish.
It's fair.
I need Seattle to get on the board trailing 7-2.
Heavy top spin, the most aggressive chopper in the game, cool in the hand. 2 serving 8 serves with Andrew Tell. Complete deception on the serve. Fast top side spin, tries the hand and gets back. It's 3 serving 8. Nerves in the arena.
Oh, beautiful.
Well
what a timely step around by Tyrese Knight, finding the open court. And now we're back to the Battle of Stockholm.
Jonathan McDonald. Little conversation with his opponent, Jay Hagberg.
McDonald gets a chance to bury the memory of the edge ball from singles. Looked like Hagberg went for another edge, far side, but it has been all Portland. Beautiful inside out loop by Hagberg.
Loaded with spin, 4 serving 11. Under the
McDonald
table,
getting the upper hand.
Of frustration. It is 12-4. Portland Paddlers.
Here we go, Rachel versus Fabi.
Coming into play. It is Rachel Sung with Fabiola Diaz on the
I know, that's the challenge here.
So you need her to get 3 or 4.
I need to think.
That's a point for Seattle.
And a point for Evan.
In a matter of speaking.
It's going for the tie.
Rachel responds, or she dominated the singles match with Fabiola. These are 33-14. That's just ridiculous.
Take that, Seattle Spinners.
For you and me, Sean, it could all come down to this point. And Diaz wins it as Rachel fans on the backhand reply. It's 14-6. Now Sean's a big Seattle Spinners fan.
Exactly.
Ready for the Spinners to take this to the brink.
It's okay if Fabi wins a point. Seattle stays in the match. So we need Paul. We need Nikhil. And we need Andrew to tie this Golden game up. And that's a nice shot by Paul Chi.
Smooth as can be, driving it down
the middle. They only had 1 point
14,
initially, so now 2 serves apiece. And that's the shot I was looking for.
Empty backers of spin.
Vila overcooked that one.
2 serves to come, 8 serving 14.
2 points here with the serve. Oh.
Isaac Vila making it count from inside the table, a little top of the net. 8 serving 15, second serve with Paul Chi.
She sends it long, and Vila earns the split. Collet comes to the table against Nikhil Kumar. Final 4 points of the season for these two stars. Interesting to see what their futures hold in a variety of different ways.
We know Kumar is going to have his hands full over the next 2 weeks.
Looking for the line, but it doesn't come down.
Better time than right now to win 3 points.
Wow,
there's one.
Somehow he steals that point from the jaws of defeat.
Replays of that one. 9 serving 17.
Wow, that's nice.
Backhand with the follow-up forehand fade, and Nikhil Kumar bringing it back in 10, serving 17.
But he missed it.
And it's
So
18
Portland,
to 10. Portland
3 points away as Tyrese Knight comes to the table
Tyrese
against
Knight
Andrew Tsao.
coming into the
Things
station
are not
with
looking
Andrew
good
Tsao, ticket in
for
hand,
NLTT
18
color.
10.
Just beat Evan.
The touch, the feeling right off the bounce as Tyrese
Put the
Knight
ball
takes it
on the table.
19-10 for the Paddlers. How does he get it
We
back?
have reached
Tyrese Knight covers the line.
game point.
And it sets up 10 golden game and team match points for the Paddlers. Not
Tsao
just
fights
yet.
one off.
Andrew Tsao fights one off. 11 serving 20.
Andrew Tsao keeps Seattle alive. The Spinners need Jay Hagberg to come up with a golden sweep against Jonathan McDonald for Sean to get his fantasy player Rachel Sung back to the table.
And that's one. Little snake action there.
3 match points
Got a
killed in a
smile
row.
out of Jay Hagberg.
Oh, around the edge. What a shot by Hagberg.
And now with the serve.
Yeah, the drama is real right now.
He can hold both of his serves.
He missed it, and that will do it for the first regular season of Major League Table Tennis. McDonald finishes the golden game for Portland as the Paddlers take it 21-14, and we are on the championship weekend in Chicago. We'll be back to wrap it up from Wichita right after this.
But this season, there were very strong teams in the West Division. On the YouTube channel. Don't forget, it's not every day we're in Wichita, so make sure you grab your LLT t-shirt from the merch booth. It can be your favorite team, whether it's the Bay Area Blasters, Seattle Spinners, or anyone in between.
Yeah, we got you.
Also get your MLT t-shirt to show people that you were here, that you love table tennis. Try to get your own team, Dennis. Just say it. Just say it. All right, it's been a lot of fun, Christian. Congratulations. Glad you paid attention to the explanation at the beginning. And that brings the show to a wrap. If you have any questions about table tennis, before they clean up, you might have a chance to come down here and play. Christian would like to say a thing or two quickly to you.
Wichita Table Tennis Association, thanks for coming here and supporting us. It was fun to work together. Good luck and fun.
Absolutely, WichitaTableTennis.com. If you're looking to play more, Josh, Willie, Nathan, Patrick, Xavier, you can play the Wichita Table Tennis Club. Megan, Zeiss, awesome. And of course, Jackson, Madison, everybody. Roger, I know you're looking to get back into the game. Let's do this. You don't need to, Amy. If you need a place to play when you're in Wichita, Wichita Table. Her noise canceling is so good on those headphones. It's amazing. can find us on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and Twitter. It's been a lot of fun. We hope you're watching live, if not in person, at least online.
Portland Paddlers prevail here to close out our weekend in Wichita, but the real story is MLTT Championship Weekend, which is on tap April 27th and 28th in Chicago, and the semifinal showdowns are set. The Blasters and the Revolution will play in semi number 1, Carolina and Texas in semi number 2. First ever MLTT Championship will be 3 p.m. Central Time, 3 weeks from today. And for the last time during the regular season, we welcome you back to our broadcast spot. Evan Lepler with the Hall of Famer Sean O'Neill. 88 matches, over 1,300 total games, over 200 golden points. How would you describe the first season of Major League Table Tennis?
It's just been a dream and a treat for me to be part of this family, part of this team, international table tennis in the United States, and I can't wait for Chicago.
What do you expect in Chicago?
A lot of fireworks, a lot of tears, a lot of celebration. It's just going to be great table tennis.
Again, it's Princeton and the Bay Area Blasters in the first semifinal. Then Carolina will take on Texas. The Blasters did not have anything clinched coming into this weekend, but they won 2 of their 3 matches to seize first place. And Texas comes from out of the playoff picture, 11 points out of a playoff spot by defeating the Paddlers on Friday and then going on to beat Seattle and the Blasters on Saturday and Sunday. So Texas battles into the postseason. Meanwhile, the Portland Paddlers, tough Friday and Saturday, but if it's a small consolation, they do finish off the season by beating Seattle for the 4th time in 6 matches this year. A lot of highlights for the Paddlers throughout the season, including today, particularly for Rachel Sung, but not enough overall. Paddlers finished with 217 points, 10 points out of a playoff spot. We thank you for being with us all season long. We look forward to being with you from Chicago at the end of the month. For our entire Ultimate production team and from our broadcast partner, Sean O'Neill, Evan Lepler saying so long from Wichita. We will see you in Chicago.